My loves, good afternoon. Welcome to another chocolate review. Welcome to Maverick Baking, or welcome back if you've had the misfortune of being here before. If not, my name is Kelly and here we conduct all sorts of chocolate reviews. We also post food vlogs, recipes, food challenges, what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week. We haven't quite done what I eat in a year. That'll be a chunky one. Anyway, if that's your kind of thing, feel free to stick around because we're doing it all the time. Today, folks, it's another chocolate review. Technically chocolate with some other things in it rather than a chocolate bar, but these things, I feel like they've been following me. I've been seeing them everywhere, and every time I saw them, I thought, you know, I don't really know if this warrants a review, but today was the last straw. And while I normally like to go into these things with an open mind, the price of these things has already closed up a little bit. At least one of the tiny doors in my brain has already gone, Let me tell you why. Today, first of all, let me introduce you. We're talking about the Lindt Choco Wafers. Now, these things I have seen everywhere here. I'm not so sure if they're as widely available in the UK or in other parts of Europe as they are in Italy. On the back, we have writing in English, Italian, German, and Bulgarian. Shout out Bulgaria, but I'm not entirely sure just how widely available these are. So we're gonna find out why I've been seeing them everywhere. I've seen them in supermarkets, I've seen them in chocolate shops, I've seen them in like sweet shops, I've even seen them in pasticceria here, like the fancy, you know, the fancy bars and the fancy pastry shops, and I've got no idea why. But let me tell you how much I paid for these today. This cost me €4.60. €4.60. This is 135 grams of product. To put that into context, I picked this up from a middling supermarket, not a super fancy one, not a super cheap one either, though you can find them in both of those also. For context, the actual 100-gram Lindt chocolate bars, in any available flavor, 2 shelves above it, €2. They were technically discounted today to €1.69, but are usually €2.09. This was almost €5 for 135 grams of product. So girly pop, when I tell you that these better be banging, I mean it. Anyway, poverty aside, we have these in 2 flavors today. We have the dark chocolate and we have the milk chocolate and hazelnut. I feel like there may be a 3rd flavor available, but honestly at this price range I probably wouldn't have bought 3 anyway because this was all We're going to start, I think, with the dark chocolate one just because it's very minimalist and I'm skeptical but also intrigued, and then we're going to move on to the milk chocolate and hazelnut. So what have we got here? We've got wafer with a chocolate-based filling covered with dark chocolate. So chocolate-based filling already has not one of my eyebrows but both, just like this basically. Truly there's nothing yet to show me why on earth this costs as much as it does, because based on the ingredients there's nothing luxurious in here. This one doesn't even contain any nuts. It's basically just vegetable oil, wafer and chocolate so far. The packaging is quite pretty, I'll give you that. It's giving upmarket, though I have to say one thing that made me genuinely laugh out loud in the supermarket and has done again. I even have filmed a closer up for you guys to see. The master chocolatier from Lindt was already sort of a meme as to how much they made this a character. The one they have on this box is absolutely unhinged. They have edited this man's eyes, or given him the coloured contacts of the century, to be so blue. it's like a white walker. And they've so obviously, like, I know this is completely unrealistic anyway, but like the difference in the pixelation between this guy and the product and whatever instrument he's holding the product on, because it's not a fork and it's not a stick. So God knows. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. But let's get into this luxurious and very expensive product to see if it's worth it. All of this about the price. Okay, we have them all individually wrapped. Not entirely what I expected, but here we have it. Like this. With all the complaints about the price, I have no problem with paying like €4 or €5 for chocolate if it's good and if it's actually luxurious. I just have so many doubts about whether this is going to be that. It's also half empty. I've taken one of these out and it's already half empty. 135 grams, folks. Anyway, let's open this up and see if it's actually any good. See if it tastes dark. See if it's worth your money. We have a nice little kind of cuboid shape here. Doesn't smell particularly like Lindt chocolate, I have to say. It smells like dark chocolate. Let's get into it. In a word, Those layers you can maybe see in there. It's like there's a cocoa wafer, a cocoa cream, and then some kind of vanilla cream and just dark chocolate on the outside. It's very sweet. There's a little bit of that kind of dark chocolate bitterness afterwards. It doesn't taste like Lindt dark chocolate specifically. It tastes like a very, very generic cocoa wafer. I know that Europeans love a wafer. They bloody love a wafer. But this, in my opinion, has no distinction from a Loacker, the Italian wafer, a Kit Kat, the British one, Kviklunch, the Norwegian one. And all of those products, while I have nothing against them, you know, I like chocolate. Everybody likes a chocolate wafer. It's a nice combination of textures and flavors. They are all like half the price, a third of the price of these things. This tastes like a chocolate wafer. It doesn't taste, you know, and again, that is exactly what it says it's going to taste like, and that is what it is. You know, are you paying for the individual packaging? I have no idea. It's just a very, very simple, basic chocolate wafer. Dark, being used very loosely, and it doesn't taste like Lindt. If I'm buying Lindt chocolate, I would at least expect it to taste like Lindt, like I would expect the same of a Galaxy or a Cadbury or a Novi product, whatever. This is very, very middle of the road. You could probably need, you know, 2 or 3 to feel satisfied. One is very small and very light. It's not bad. It doesn't taste incredibly cheap, but it doesn't taste anywhere near the price they're asking for it, and it's instantly forgettable. So for me, that's a 2 out of 5. Shall we move on to the other flavor that we have here today, being the Lindt Choco Wafer, milk chocolate and hazelnut. So from this, we can expect just the same wafer with a chocolate-based filling. Again, it's not just chocolate, it's going to be some vegetable oil creation with cocoa powder in it, covered in milk chocolate and hazelnut pieces. Let's get into this and see if it's any better. Again, price of these was exactly the same. This one, when you open it again, you know, I understand it's a carton with a sort of this shaped top bit, but it is, the box is half empty. Just make the box smaller, a little bit more, please. And in here we have our little blue package. I do like the colouring, it's very Eastery, it's very springtime, even if that's not what they were going for. Immediately already a bit more appealing because it's got that kind of Ferrero Rocher vibe going on with the chocolate and the hazelnuts on the front, basic kind of underside. This one has a bit more of a Lindt kind of smell to it, and you do at least immediately get the hazelnut smell. Let's see how it tastes though. Okay. I have a smaller portion of beef with this one. Obviously, similar problems are here with this one in that it is very basic. Good mix of textures and flavors in there. You have crunchy, you have crispy, you have creamy, you have chocolatey, you have smooth. This one, however, does have a more kind of memorable flavor, I have to say. Creamier, sweeter, nuttier, unsurprisingly. And this one actually tastes like Lindt chocolate. It tastes like a bar of Lindt milk chocolate specifically. And that on its own immediately makes it taste more valuable. It makes it taste more deserving of its price, because I taste it and I go, oh, that's Lindt. And it's got a little bit of that kind of Ferrero Rocher flavor to it as well, with the hazelnuts and the milk chocolate and the creaminess in there. While the first one on its own, I don't think felt particularly satisfying. It had a good mix of flavors and textures, okay, but very meh, very forgettable. This one, because the flavors are stronger and richer, I think you'd be happy having just 1 or maybe 2 of these at the most, because it is more bold in flavor. It feels more luxurious as a result. Though obviously we're not talking about the highest quality product in the world. This is still made with some very, very basic quality stuff. This tastes more like luxury, and it tastes more what I think they were trying to go for with making this like a luxury thing. The only thing I would say, which confuses me a bit, is who this is for. You know, it's a luxury product, but it isn't to the level of luxury that Ferrero Rocher carries, for example. Ferrero Rocher is not of an entirely different quality to this, but it feels it, it looks it. The way that it's packaged with the gold, with, you know, the idea of it being good for a gift or being good for, you know, bringing to something This I don't really know if it fits like that. Like those first chocolate wafers feel like the kind of thing you would find in a waiting room, or that, you know, you would find in a meeting somewhere in the middle of the table. You know, I don't really know who these are for or what the occasion is supposed to be, because it's equally not designed to be sold to individuals or to the average Joe on his lunch break. I don't really know. I have to say these ones are definitely more satisfying, more tasty, more memorable, and just better overall than the other ones. I would say these ones even warrant having a higher price point, not than what they're already charging, but higher than the other. And I will happily finish this box, whereas the other one, I'm gonna have to find someone to share them with because So for that, I will be happy to give the milk chocolate and hazelnut Lindt Choco Wafers a 3 out of 5. If you guys have tasted these, do let me know your thoughts. I feel like they're absolutely everywhere, and yet I haven't seen anyone buying or eating them or talking about them yet. So do let me know if you have, or if you haven't but you've been seeing them everywhere like I have. Let me know what you think. Would you pick these up? Do you think they're worth it? Do you think it's maybe just a one-off that Lindt are trying? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But I'm afraid that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much as always for watching, and I will see you for the next one.